This is Jonathan Agger, 5th Pro Boxing Fans, joined by Teofimo Lopez Sr. here at the workouts ahead of your son's title defence this Friday at Times Square against Arnold Barboza. Teofimo, how are you feeling?
Man, we're feeling great, man. Nothing but greatness, up here in New York City, doing it in Times Square, middle Times Square. It's never been done, and it's the biggest opportunity of our lives, Thank God that people are starting to recognize who's the real champ, who's the real main dude at 140, which is my son. He's got the Ring magazine, and we're going to do it, live right out here in New York City. Like I said, in the middle of Times Square. What more can you ask for?
Now, I remember I think 2019, people were talking about the 4 future kings of boxing, your son, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney and Lomachenko. We get 3 of them on this card. What's it like being on the card with, I guess, a lot of your son's rivals?
I mean, we've been seeing this coming from the beginning, hard work pace, and we was never with the Roy Jones Juniors, we was never with the Sab Juniors, we was never with Floyd with Floyd, and none of these big guys, we did it on our own, we did it from hard work. So I told my son, what you want? You want the fame now, or you want to be a real fighter? I'd rather have a real fighter than have somebody that was brought up since they were small, you know what I'm saying? And this is why my son is the best fighter in the world right now.
Talk to me about Arnold Barboza. He's confident, he's been saying a lot of stuff. What do you make of him and him as a fighter as well?
Hey, listen, we don't take no fight lightly, you know what I'm saying? I train my son to, if you're the worst or you're the best, we're going to train the same, and we're going in there to do our job, and, I'm calling it right now, man. That fight is not going to go 6 rounds, and I'm not pushing my son for the knockout, but when he's ready to go, that's when I tell my son, you got him, you ready? And that's when my son goes inside and takes you out.
So you think Teofimo will get the knockout on Friday at Times Square?
You're going to see the Teofimo from the beginning. You're going to see that hungry Teofimo. He ain't got no more, problems, in his head. He's got a clear head. He's back with me, and that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? He has been winning all these fights by having a lot of problems, and thank God that these problems has started in the beginning, not at 30, not at 40, not at 35, not at 34, but now, and he's done with them. So, we still got 10 more years. I mean, 2-time lineal champion. He did it a week before Crawford, and Crawford did it at 36. So we did it 10 years before Crawford, you know what I'm saying? So we still got 10 more years to get more lineal titles, you know what I'm saying? After this fight, because I know it's going to be an amazing fight. We're going to steal the show, and I think we're going to get a chance to get Boots Ennis and try to get that 3rd lineal championship ring that we want.
And what happens if your son fights Jaron Boots Ennis? Obviously, he won the title, unified. What would happen if your son was in the ring with him?
I don't care what he's saying, because he's talking about fighting a 154 fighter or unifying with somebody else at 147. He's not mentioning my son, but we don't care. If we don't get him, we want Ryan, you know what I'm saying? But a fight that has to be made, something big, and after the display of the boxing and his style, nobody has right now in the world. That's why he's doing so many things so young. He became 2-time lineal champion at 25, and it's crazy, man. So sky's the limit of what we could do and what's gonna happen in the future. It's all up to God, you know what I'm saying? And if he gives us health and we keep on doing this thing, that's called boxing, we're gonna make it great.
And Conor Ben will be there on Friday, I'm hearing. Do you like that fight for your son?
Anything that's good, anything that's worth it, I leave everything to Turkey Alashi, you know what I'm saying? But it's got to be something significant, significant, because we want the biggest fights. We want fights. We're going to take the belts from people. You know what I'm saying? So when my son is already a Hall of Famer in the future. You know, he could lose 100 times and he's still a Hall of Famer. So, you know, we're not thinking like that, but, you know, I've never seen him so happy, so energetic. You saw what he just did right now, and ain't nobody is doing what he's doing, you know?
And Ryan Garcia, Rolly Romero is the main event. You know Rolly well, but how do you see the fight playing out?
I see that fight like a 50-50 fight, to tell you the truth, because Rolando, you never know, you know? He comes in, you know, as long as he stays really close to him, you know, he has a chance. Like the sparring matches, you know, those old sparring matches that they had, you know what I'm saying? He wouldn't let him get off that left hook, you know, and his game plan is to stay really close to him. I think he has an opportunity.
We saw Teofimo talk about fighting Ryan Garcia after this. How big a fight would that be in your opinion?
That'll be a huge fight. I mean, we was talking to Turkey Garcia about it, you know what I'm saying? And I think that should be our next fight. But if not, we want Boots Ennis. We'll be the first to be 3-time lineal champions, you know, so in the world. So
you believe your son would knock out Boots Ennis?
Hey, we will definitely outbox him. He's older than us. And, you know, and not only that, you know, my son is on my side, and I can see things other people can't see. That's what makes me a great trainer, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we're taking any challenge, you know what I'm saying? To us, it don't matter. But, you know, we're trying to get the best fights.
Lastly, we saw Conor Benn and Chris Eubank, a classic fight. What did you make of it?
We gotta go. Say goodbye.
Last question. What did you think of Eubank and Benn?
Oh, the fight that just happened?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Ben was going a little bit too wild in the beginning, and I think that Fury was a little more relaxed, you know what I'm saying? And I just saw like a piece of it, you know, and I had the other guy. I didn't have Ben winning that fight, and I only watched it for like 30 seconds.
Teofimo, appreciate it. Top man. Cheers.